Hey everybody, I'm Dan, and I'm here with JR, Joel, and Tracy. And together we're here to do a little S9 Q&A for you, so let's get started.
What do you guys view as the Endgame Loop? I love the game, but I struggle to keep occupied with it. Regrinding for the same gear on a bigger number every expansion isn't it for me.
We also have Chuck in the video, but that's my question, so I'm going to go ahead and answer it. So the end game is two pieces. We have the PvP side, which is very emergent. That's very much driven by players. Obviously, there's gear to get, but there's a lot of play where I'm not as good at the game. JR stomps me. I get a different experience. I get to learn from it and grow.
Can't believe you just admitted that.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
But we also have things for PvE, which is really what the question is about. And ultimately, PvE content is finite, so you're going to consume those things. That's okay. We understand that. New raid comes out. Eventually, you're going to either want to repeat it or be done with it. We're okay with that. We have some new things in Season 10 that are going to help kind of address some of your concerns. We have Umbral, which is going to make more gear across the board viable. And then the other thing really is we're going to lean into some socketables for perks and customization for players. And really the goal is to grind some of that gear to build out different playstyles, not just to get the one best suit, but to try a suit for like a Berserk build or a crit build or potentially other surprising builds as we start to release more information on that content.
Yeah, the goal is like more than just numbers. You're not just grinding for a higher number. You're grinding for like gameplay changing like aspects.
That's been the kind of one primary goal as we've designed all that out.
What are your intentions to bring new players to the game, rather than just maintaining the existing customer base? I saw the PS Plus promotion this month, which is awesome, but we need more of it.
Yeah, so the PS Plus thing actually just went live today, right?
Yeah. As of us filming this, it just went live, and it's doing way better than our wildest expectations. So
Yeah.
So
there's definitely things like that, as you mentioned, and from moving forward, where we have a pretty large and healthy player base of New World players that have ever tried New World, and right now I think the name of the game is re-engagement through offering just better, new, more endgame content.
Season 10 is going to be a big one, absolutely, to go with that.
The gathering system is pleasant, for sure, and I dig it. Is there any thought to making additional pleasant, cozy systems? I feel like there's a lot of land out there for farming, and a lot of roads for wagons, and space in the environment to tie these into city ownership. What's a settlement without farms and trading, after all?
So farming is actually something that we've experimented with. It didn't show up on the recent roadmap, but it's actually something we're still looking at and prototyping.
That didn't mean that it was particularly deprioritized.
It's just, it wasn't on that list. Yeah. These are things that we like as well, and we want to keep experimenting with. It is not upfront compared to some of the other things like the in-game progression overhaul, but it is something that we really want to explore, and we will continue to look at until we find the right version for it.
The last weapon was added in 2023. Will you commit to releasing weapons more often?
Definitely, yes. We are trying to release weapons more frequently than we have in the past. I can share that we have 3 weapons in development right now, and one of those is coming very soon. Not in the next release, but soon after. So look forward to more information on that soon.
Are there any plans to give dedicated PvP players a way to reasonably obtain gear? Right now, the only way to obtain is to do the PvE raids.
So that's me. So PvP players will have a way in the PvP rewards track. We're looking at doing a lot of updates to that, especially in Season 10, make it feel a little bit better. Beyond that, as we go to something where it's about collecting different sets, there will just be some sets, similar to, say, artifacts that exist in other pieces of content that you might want to go get to make your perfect PvP build. But generally, we want to make sure that you can get a very viable set in PvP from PvP that hits the 800 gear score limit and gets you generally what you're looking for with the perks that you want.
Will Barebones OPR be making its debut in Season 9 as well as CTF? If not, will it be a later date? Please don't tell me you scrapped it.
So yes, if you liked Barebones, it will be making a return in Season 9. We're going to do it as a limited time event. We don't have a date for that yet, but stay tuned for more information.
Any plans on adding a solo queue OPR mode for a week like you did with Barebones? I'm sure it would be really popular.
We don't have any current plans to do a solo queue for OPR. Something that we're keeping an eye on, though, is queue times in general. And I can share with you our plans for Season 9 are actually to go out with Capture the Flag and Arenas as the only 2 PvP modes that are available at the start of the season. Shortly after, like a week and a half later, we're going to turn OPR back on, and we're going to be measuring queue times going forward. But yeah, the goal was, with this decision, was to put as much emphasis on Capture the Flag, with it being a new mode. We think a lot of people who are interested in Outpost Rush are going to be playing Capture the Flag, and we want to make sure it's as easy as possible to get into a match at the start of the season.
OPR will be back on the following weekend.
Correct.
Can we get some more information on procedural expeditions? I'm really hoping they take a heavy inspiration from dungeon crawler board games. For example, having pre-designed rooms that appear randomly, boss rooms, quests, etc., but generated in a procedural way.
Everything in that question resonates a ton with the vision for Procedural Dungeons and all of our early design conversation. We indeed referenced dungeon crawler board games. I think you're really going to like what you see from it.
Will we ever have the ability to enter expeditions solo?
Well, short term, the new Procedural Dungeons mode that we just discussed is going to allow you to, so you enter the queue solo, we're just going to put you right into the instance solo, and then we're going to find you a group asynchronously through the backfill. So you won't be able to get as far as you would with a group, but you will be able to start playing and getting some rewards for your time.
What do you intend to do about the amount of people who will leave the game because there is no content in Season 9, at least for old players?
Well, there is content in Season 9. There's Capture the Flag, what we talked about. There's other things as well.
There's the FFA zone rework that we did, and we also have an Outpost Rush preview event coming up in Season 9 for our third map.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Summer Medley Fair, and we have a couple new world bosses as well that players haven't seen before. So there's more than, well, there's not nothing.
If you compare it to the last couple of seasons, it is a little bit lighter, and part of that reality is there is so much content that we're making for the next several seasons that the team is mainly working on right now, so it's a bit of a strategic choice. We hope you like what's in Season 9.
Is the seasonal server concept completely abandoned? Why? I think you found a really good format with the hardcore server.
I like that format too. Short term, we really wanted to make sure that we're not splitting the player base, as we've said before, and kind of experimented with the second seasonal server. But ultimately, it's something that, first and foremost, core game is the most important thing. We have some really cool ideas that we experimented with and we might use in the future, but right now we're not ready to share that. And short term, it's not necessarily on a roadmap until we shore up the Prime game first. There
are regions with few players, and there are still +1 servers. Why don't you join them?
We actually have plans shortly to restructure how regions and worlds are in several different lower population regions. So expect more communications from us that go into a little bit more detail about that. But we have heard your complaints and concerns around how low pop some servers are, and we will be addressing that.
Are merges coming before Season 10?
Yes, merges are actually coming very shortly after the start of Season 9. We're trying not to interrupt leaderboards too much, but we don't actually want to merge on the day of the Season 9 start just because of risk. So again, pay attention to comms that are coming up very shortly with more details.
Speculations about the upcoming major update and the game distribution model are causing a lot of concerns in the community right now. Some want to see a free-to-play distribution model, others want a paid add-on. I understand that you may not be able to say more yet, but at least give us a time frame for when we will find out about it.
You can expect some details on this in September.
Some old weapons seem to be very outclassed, or their abilities seem to not made it in any kind of pass for updating. Are we ever going to see these old skills updated?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's something we have done in the past, is looking at old weapons and doing refreshes on them. We've put those on hold for the time being because we're actually, the combat team and Joel's team are working hand in hand on the progression overhaul, trying to make sure our rewards are as compelling as possible for the next release after Season 9. So we don't have any near-term plans for that, but we are actually looking at, actually the life staff is one of the weapons that we're looking at currently to make some revisions to. So stay tuned for more information on that.
I think just to add to that as well, there's some spoilers, big changes for the progression overhaul in the way that you use your gear with attributes or not as well. I'm not going to say exactly what that is, but I'm going to leave a little hint there that's going to really mix up how you use your weapons and play with your gear.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have an expected date for the shared crafting storage? As somebody who loves the crafting system in New World, my biggest pain is having to manually sort stuff through different storages.
I get that feedback from Katie all the time. That is something that we care greatly about, and I don't hear the end of it. That is coming in the near future. It's not season 10, but you should expect to see it at some point fairly soon.
What does the beyond on the roadmap mean? Is it after season 10?
Beyond means not season 10, but very soon after season 10.
New World Aeternum has a track record of releasing a major content update expansion at the end of the year and then losing players very quickly due to a lack of follow-up content in the next season. Are there any plans to approach this differently this time around and spreading the content out more?
Part of the nature of doing PvE development, especially when you're at a high graphical fidelity as New World is, you're going to see a little bit of unevenness when the content is ready. For this time around, we are releasing New Zone. As you know, it's got jam-packed with other stuff, so it's going to feel like a very big release. But to your question, we are also working on a few other things that are meant for soon after. And hopefully we can try to, it's a forever trying to find the right balance.
There's some big things coming, actually, right? In the following release. So yeah, so I think we are actually. It's going to feel a little different than it did last time, around this time last year.
Will there be fresh start servers coming in season 10?
We won't be doing fresh start servers in season 10.
Will Void Gauntlet also receive changes like the flail for outgoing healing when not paired with a life staff, since it also suffers the same problem when it comes to outgoing healing modifiers? Or do you have plans to add them into a skill tree somehow?
This is something we're interested in for sure. The first thing for Void Gauntlet, though, is there's some balance issues. We do have some changes coming up in Season 9. We want to make sure that we get the balance issues under control first before we add additional utility to the weapon.
When AP servers merge?
Soon.
When will Season 9 patch notes be released?
Shortly before season 9. So right now it's scheduled for July 28th.
Will fresh start server tags be removed? It's been said closer to season 9 there would be more information, but there has been nothing stated yet.
Luckily, we're close to the start of season 9, so this is us stating it. We will be removing fresh start server tags fairly soon, but more comms are in the future.
This is purely cosmetic, but will there ever be a change in cosmetics for feminine apparel?
Yeah, so as we briefly touched on in the dev update video, we have in season 9 some more outfits coming out that are more feminine based in nature. And also, we didn't talk about this in the last video, but we have a new idol pose for female characters.
Yep, in the store, the transmog, and when you're just applying skins, you'll see a more feminine pose for your female character.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we've already started doing a better job. Like some of the recent cosmetics that we've added to the shop had like a more feminine silhouette. We're more wearable. So
our team is doing a great job on those, for sure.
Can you guys bring back the way potions used to work, where you can pop a regular and regen at the same time? It was perfect the way it was. I don't understand why you would touch something that there wasn't even a problem with and has been the same forever. Totally ruined the game for me. Would love to come back if you guys would undo the nerf.
We hear the complaint. I know it's hard when something changes that feels so core to the experience.
I had a hard time with it too when it first went in.
A lot of people did. We did it because we did see a problem that we were trying to resolve, which was like time to kill. There were just a lot of like fights were going on too long. People like kind of running away, coming back. We wanted more finality to the conflict, and this is also why we're looking at changes to just healing in general in the game. It's actually something we're not planning on removing from the game. Like we're actually going to lean into it more. A lot of it just comes down to like it provides more player choice and like which survival potions you take. There's some trade-offs there. And also something we're going to be looking into in the future is just like more perk options to aid in survivability. So it's not just a consumable, but it's more of like something you have to make a choice to get.
Will you ever change drops? 90% of all drops in 65 plus areas are gear score 638 to 692. Just add drops of 700 plus items.
With the Umbral system that's going to get re-added to the game, and as we start to go through content and some of the up levels that are on the future roadmap, we're going to start putting and updating those things, those areas, those pieces of content. But things like, as an example I said earlier in the video, mutated 1, 2, and 3, or M1, 2, 3, those are going to have updated gear. Some of the new areas in the new zones are going to have updated gear. And we're going to start looking at some of these older pieces as well, PvP reward track, and make sure that those things get updated. And long term, this is going to allow us with Umbral, as we see fit, to up-level other areas that we really like and feel is interesting content, to kind of give exactly what you're looking for of viability across the board.
Yeah, that's what's great about the Umbral system is it brings back all of our content in play again. Anything that drops higher gear score, that you're going to be up leveled all the way to top gear score.
Yep.
Can you tell us anything about the set bonuses? How many pieces will be in the set? How many sets will we be able to wear, one or several? Where will they be obtained? Raids, dungeons, seasonal trials, open world?
So a little bit of everywhere. A couple up front. They will be obtainable in the Procedural Dungeon. I'm not going to say its real name. The Raid, the PvP reward track will have one to start, but we can absolutely add more. As for the other piece of the question, how many pieces in a set? The system's flexible. So we can have one set that is, a bonus at 2 pieces and 5 pieces, another set that's 2 and 4, 3 and 5. We can kind of get creative with that. If we really wanted to do a 10-piece set with 2 bonuses, we could. But we really want to get the feeling of mix and matching. So you could be wearing at some point in the near future up to 3 sets. But for right now, expect to wear about 2 at the launch of the feature. And the other thing is that it'll be flexible in the sense of if we really like a set bonus universally, we can put it across multiple weapons. So you can kind of pick and choose how you piecemeal that set together to mix and match.
Yeah, I think we're going with we have 2 different layouts for the set bonuses. We have 2 and 4, so something unlocks at 2 sets, or 2 pieces and 4 pieces, and then we have 3 and 5, something unlocks at 3 sets, or 3 pieces and 3 and 5 pieces. And we chose those numbers because it has the most combinations for laying out the sets and having a full 10 pieces, and they're all contributing to some set bonus.
We'll do much deeper dives on all this stuff as we get closer to S10 for sure, so you can get your heads fully around it before it launches.
Can you go into detail about some of the PvP updates for Season 9? Some weapons and haste in general have been overtuned for way too long.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned in the last dev update video that haste has received some significant changes for Season 9. So we reduced the cap by 10% down to 40% total. And we also went through pretty much every source of haste in the game and reduced it to get it under control. We also have some targeted nerfs to Sword and Shield, Hatchet, Void Gauntlet, Stone Form, and Hatchet. Did I say Hatchet? Yeah. So for Hatchet, one thing to call out was Berserk. We're actually turning that into more of an offensive haste benefit because we were seeing it used to get away from fights, which was not the intent for that ability. So it's actually going to be something that has a shorter duration, and then you can extend the duration by attacking. And I think I mentioned this before, but for Void Gauntlet, Void Blade in particular is an issue balance-wise. So that's something we're targeting to reduce the power of.
Personally like that Berserk change a lot, hearing that. That's the first time I've heard it, so I'm actually excited for that.
Going off what someone mentioned about future DLC, the endgame cutscene hints at vampires and werewolves in what appears to be the mid-1800s. Are there any plans to use this? A Victorian-era DLC would absolutely slap, especially with the monsters that were mentioned. Any DLC would be great, honestly.
It does sound pretty cool, doesn't it?
I'd play that.
Werewolves are pretty badass.
Vampires too.
Yeah, thanks for watching the Q&A for Season 9. Thank you, JR. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Tracy. And thank all of you. If you like the video, like and subscribe. And down in the comments, we have a question for you. We like that question about the old weapons needing refreshes on their abilities and skills. So we're curious to know, what would your vote be? What abilities and skills would you like to see refreshed and how? And until next time, see you in Aeternum.
See you in Aeternum.